Well, viewers, once again today we've reached a point where the issue of Kaveri needs to be discussed. Now, viewers must be wondering, how is this really relevant? Now, the question here is, it is not about a political issue. It is about the issue of survival. Survival of farmers on the borders, of the borders of Tamil Nadu, that is especially along the Cauvery Basin, and also along the Cauvery Basin here in Karnataka. It is also about the drinking water needs of the people of Bengaluru. Now, this particular issue at this point in time is raging on. It has reached the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court hasn't really given any sort of relief to the Karnataka government. The Cauvery water sharing dispute between these two states has now reached a stalemate. Well, it's a major setback from the Supreme Court for both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The top court has rejected Karnataka's plea on one hand, where it said that it's unable to release any water to Tamil Nadu. It's also dismissed Tamil Nadu's plea seeking additional water. Now, Supreme Court has said that the Cauvery Water Management Authority will monitor the situation in the reservoirs every 15 days. This means that at this point in time, Karnataka will have to continue to release 5,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu, which they have been maintaining that they are unable to do. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu is demanding much more than what right now is being released. They're saying that's what the farmers need. That is the necessity and the need of the hour. Meanwhile, Karnataka's top leadership, Chief Minister CWMA, Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar, met Union Jal Shakti Minister as well at his residence. This was earlier this morning. DK Shivkumar claimed that the Union Minister has assured justice as the entire state of Karnataka has come together to protect the farmers. Now, the protests, on the other hand, haven't stopped really. Especially in Karnataka, they've been going on. We've brought you visuals after visuals, especially from Mandya, Srirangpatna, outside the KRS Dam. Now, the farmers are making one thing clear. Well, our standing crops in Karnataka do not have water right now, is the claim. They say that at this point in time, it may be the crops, but in just a couple of months, the people living in Bengaluru, that is crores of them, will not have water to drink. Now, after the Supreme Court order, pro-Kannada organizations even laid siege today on the streets. They tried to, go to the Vidhan Sauda. They were blocked. They were taken into custody. And finally, of course, the protesters only relented after assurances came in that there will be some sort of action that will be taken by the government in this particular regard. Farmers in Mandya too continue to protest. They've even gone to the KRS Dam. They've even blocked the old Bengaluru-Mysuru highway. Now, this particular issue refuses to die down at this point in time. What are the politicians really saying, and what's the next plan of action? Let's listen in first.
They know the requirements. They know the formula of usage in the regular year and the distress year. But somehow they are unable to do that. Tamil Nadu is asking 23, we will give 15. That will be reduced to 10. That is not the issue. The issue is what is the real required for Tamil Nadu and how much water they have, and what is the requirement of Karnataka, how much water we have. They have failed to recognize this. So I literally condemn the CWRC and CWMA approach toward this problem. Secondly, I also condemn the approach of the state government. Right from beginning, they could have gone to the Supreme Court.
Kaveri issue is today's decision. It is really not only disappointing, a very shocking decision, because we are facing severe problems, scarcity of water. How this government will going to release the water now? This is the issue now. What Karnataka peoples and Bangalore city people in future days to get drinking water? The situation will going to be worse situation. How this present our constitutional system really continuously from several years, Karnataka only let down by in every issues.
My colleague Neha Hebale joins us live on the broadcast. Neha, this is a catch-22 situation. This is a statement that Mr. DK Shivkumar himself made yesterday. More importantly, right now, the Supreme Court hasn't given any sort of relief to the state of Karnataka. And what do the politicians really do? Because they're saying at one point we don't have water, the protests continue, opposition parties meet at an all-party meet, later go on to say that they're not doing enough. What's the way forward really here?
Well, Deepak, first of all, we're talking about the Supreme Court order here that's come in today. The Supreme Court has clearly refused to intervene despite, of course, both states putting forward their pressing stand here. The Supreme Court has said that the decision of the Cauvery Water Management Authority and the Cauvery, Water Regulation Committee here is final, merely because they're meeting every 15 days and they're evaluating the situation of the water flow, and that's precisely how they've come to the decision. Now, remember, this is a huge setback, not only to Karnataka, because we're seeing farmers protesting on a daily basis over here, quite literally hitting the streets here, saying that, this is no way that things should be done. And on the other hand, it's also a huge setback for Tamil Nadu, which was expecting more water to be released from the state of Karnataka. Now, let's talk about the statements coming in here. While we've seen politicians politicizing this entire matter, you have the government over here in the state of Karnataka that says that they're putting their best efforts to meet officials from the central government, to meet, in fact, the minister, Jal Shakti minister here concerned. Letters are being written to the Prime Minister on one hand, and on the other hand, you have the BJP that's going on to slam the government over here, saying that they're not putting forth a strong stand as far as, the CWMA or the Supreme Court is concerned. Now, remember, as unfortunate as it is, we're seeing farmers on both sides of the border here in Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu protesting on a daily basis. We're seeing politicians continuing to play politics over here. And remember, Deepak, that the two states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu have always been, in a catch-22 situation as far as the entire Cauvery water issue here is concerned. We're seeing that with the elections approaching as well, the general body elections also, of course, approaching. It seems like this is an issue that's being used to politicize heavily in both the states. We'll really have to wait and see how this goes forward now, because the Supreme Court, of course, has made its decision final.
Right, Neha. Thank you for sharing those details with us. Mr. Narayan Tirupati, the Vice President of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, Syed Aslam Pasha from the JDS joins us. We also have Mr. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, political analyst, and Advocate Nikhil Jain, who's also a political analyst, who are all with us today. Let me open this up with Mr. Tirupati. Interesting situation, really, Mr. Tirupati. Here, your BJP counterparts are crying foul that injustice is being done. On the part of Tamil Nadu seeking more and more water, while the farmers are being deprived. And they're saying that as far as even usage for water for crops is concerned, Tamil Nadu has gone ahead with the third crop, whereas in Karnataka, they're struggling for the standing crops at this point in time. Overall, politically, how do you really view this, Mr. Tirupati?
First of all, we need to understand, the last 5 years after, the Cauvery Water Management Authority has been formed, absolutely, there was no problem between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, because these days, almost the entire period, the BJP was ruling in Karnataka. We need to understand. So now I think it is politically motivated by the Congress even before the elections, and that is what is happening. As far as this issue is concerned, the DMK and the Congress governments in Tamil Nadu and the Karnataka,
but politically motivated for what, Mr. Tirupati? They have their alliance partner sitting in Tamil Nadu.
Let me finish. What is it? What is it?
I said you said it was politics, but they have their alliance partners, DMK, sitting there in Tamil Nadu. So who are they playing these politics with?
That is what I'm saying. See, as a responsible governments, they should have spoken to each other and they should have solved this problem immediately when the problem arose. The thing is that, as I told you earlier also, again I'm reiterating that the fact is that in the last 3-4 years we have not received any problem, because the BJP government at Karnataka had seen to it that everything went off smoothly, and the Cauvery Water Management Authority is doing its duty. And the Supreme Court will not interfere because it has entrusted the work to the Cauvery Water Management Authority, and the authority lies with the Cauvery Water Management Authority, and they would have definitely seen. So 100% of this problem is only because of the Congress and the DMK. Even in Tamil Nadu, we have said that the DMK government should have spoken to the Congress government because of Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, who have been speaking, in a different tone. So they could have definitely curtailed this issue. But unfortunately, both Congress and DMK had created this tension unnecessarily.
Okay, Mr. Aslam Pasha, we've already heard your party head, Mr. Kumaraswamy, speak. Now, he was not a part of the all-party meeting. JDS hardly had any sort of representation there. Now, on one hand, of course, it's becoming more and more clear that, you're going to ally with the BJP. So at this point in time, the Congress continues to mount pressure that, the BJP and the JDS and here in Karnataka does nothing but politics. Some of them don't really think all party meetings are important and then, go back and make these sort of statements that Karnataka, the state government isn't doing enough.
Well, Deepak, when it comes to the people of Karnataka, we will, and especially when it comes to Kaveri, we will fight tooth and nail, and we will be with the people of Karnataka. We are always with the Kannadigas. Now, Deepak, looking at the situation, it looks like the Cauvery Water Management Authority has given a blind eye to Karnataka. And of course, today, the Supreme Court also has upheld that. That's very disappointing. It was the government, the Congress government certainly had to pick up this with the Supreme Court as soon as the order came in on 13th September. And I'll tell you, we request the Cauvery Water Management Authority to reassess the situation in Karnataka. Let me tell you, the requirement for Karnataka is 106 TMC. We are left with only 51 TMC in the 4 reservoirs, and if we leave 5,000 cusecs of water, right, we will be short for the drinking water. We'll have a scarcity of drinking water. You already know that we have a standing crop of kharif. We are at the verge of losing the crop, and it will be a complete disaster for the irrigation and the drinking water too. Bangalore alone needs 21 TMC of water for the next 9 months. Where will we get this water from?
Then, Mr. Pasha, the biggest question here is, if the situation is so grave, why aren't the representatives from Karnataka able to put this point forward, be it at the CWRA meetings or the CWMA meetings or even at the Supreme Court? It's just not happening because the same thing that you mentioned is being spoken time and again by some of the Congress leaders. And somewhere they seem to have failed to actually put their point through. Let me bring in Mr. Nikhil Jain here and also Mr. Ibrahim. I want to ask both of them. The Congress on one hand, of course, has been... I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. We're not closing this debate anytime soon. We'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. I want them to answer this question, both of them, combined. Till today, the Congress has spoken about the problems in Karnataka that they've been facing. DMK has spoken about the problems that the people of Tamil Nadu have been facing. 2 natural allies going into the India alliance into 2024. Not one day have the 2 water resources ministers decided that, well, we'll just have a casual meeting and discuss how this can be probably resolved. Not one day, because I can recall now the delegation that met the Union Jal Shakti minister today from Karnataka and just yesterday from Tamil Nadu. Even in Delhi, this meeting could have happened. Mr. Nikhil Jain, why is it not happening?
Deepak, see, the thing is that the JDS and the BJP want the Karnataka government to speak with the Tamil Nadu government and figure out a solution. I don't understand how is a solution possible when the demands of the 2 governments are so starkly opposite. They may be alliance partners, but at the end of the day, for any political party that is in government, what reigns supreme is the interest of the people of their state, whether it is Tamil Nadu for DMK or Karnataka for Congress. And that is something that the BJP needs to understand. But instead,
but at
BJP
least
is trying
the Congress can put forth, its stand here about what's the reality. You can, there could be some dialogue. Why is there so much rigidity here? What is the use of an alliance? Even the public somewhere will ask, the farmers will ask, what is the use of an alliance? In fact, when I have been covering the protests that have been taking place, one of the major issues that keeps coming up is that, somewhere there seems to be a compromise formula that the Congress, is employing here because it's an alliance with the DMK. This is something that's being echoed from the farmers and the protesters out there.
This is also something that the BJP is peddling to the people of Karnataka. When the Karnataka government is asking not to release enough water, and the Tamil Nadu government is asking to release a lot more water than what the Karnataka Congress government is offering. How can we say that the 2 parties can meet and resolve this? The 2 demands are very starkly different, and this is not something you can reach a middle ground on. That is why You have to rely upon independent institutions to give their decision on it, as did the Cauvery Water Management Authority. I've been on a debate with you earlier on the same issue, and the point that I was raising was that this authority is something that comes under the union government. So if indeed the BJP feels that the decision of the authority is wrong, they could have used their good offices of the central government and talked to the authority. But the authority's decision has now been upheld by the Supreme Court. As much as I feel for the farmers of Karnataka and the people of Karnataka and their plight in these droughted situations, but the fact of the matter is that competent technical body like the CWMA has given its order, and then the Supreme Court, the top court of the country, has upheld it. So when my friend from the JDS says that why did the Congress government not approach the Supreme Court earlier, what would have happened? The same decision would have happened earlier, right? Probably this is why the Karnataka government did not approach the Supreme Court. They must have taken their legal advice and legal opinion and would have possibly realized that an order in their favor is not going to come. I don't understand why do we need to make it a political issue when independent institutions are operating.
Mr. Jain, to add to your point, this is the second time now that the Supreme Court has said this. This is the second time now that the Supreme Court has said, well, we are not the competent authority, the CWMA is. Because I remember just a couple of weeks back, okay.
Absolutely. So when a competent technical body has issued its directions, what do you expect the Karnataka Congress government to do? To flout whatever the institutions are saying, to use its power? Okay, we have the dam in our territory, we are not going to release water, whatever the authority might say. At the end of the day, we live in a democratic system with different institutions of the state, and the Karnataka government is bound by the order of the CWMA. What is the BJP's demand here? I'm failing to understand. And Mr. Tirupati is saying that we have been, the Congress party has been politicizing this. Why will the Congress party politicize this? They are not able to give enough water to their farmers because an independent institution has directed them to not do that. They are in trouble with their alliance partners because that alliance partner ruled state wants more water. What does the BJP Congress gain out of this? Nothing. What the BJP definitely gains out of people's misery, and that is exactly what they're doing. Instead of trying to figure out a solution to sit with the Congress government in Karnataka, possibly figure out a cropping pattern wherein you could grow crops that would take less water, a future-looking solution, not something that is going to change things at the moment, but in the long term, it might impact. Instead of doing all of that, what the BJP is doing, the BJP is saying the Karnataka government is not fighting for us. What can they do? They will be bound by these independent authorities.
I'll bring in Harish Mohammed Ibrahim as well. Mr. Ibrahim, what is your take in all of this? How do you really view this? What's the situation as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned?
Yeah,
because time and again, the BJP here in Karnataka, says that the DMK's demands have been unreasonable because they've already overused water. This is something that the BJP maintains here, even the JDS maintains here in Karnataka.
Yeah, first of all, as a law-abiding state, Tamil Nadu has always maintained to uphold whatever the Supreme Court judgments has been, right from the management, Cauvery Management Board constitution. Even at the time, I want to make sure to remember Mr. Narayana Tripati, sir, that even at that point of time, the BJP in Karnataka opposed the movement of constitutions of Cauvery Management Board in Supreme Court. Even now, during the month of September, the actual should be 36.79 TMC should be there from the Cauvery Management Authority Board during the monsoon distress period. Even now, we have been asking for at most 15,000 cusecs, and which has been which has been reduced to 10,000 cusecs by the then Cauvery Management Board. And now the Cauvery Management Board, after assessing all the stocks in the Cauvery water basin, and now they have upheld to release 5,000 cusecs, and which has been upheld now by the Supreme Court. And even now, if they want to do the politics, then I would make sure to point only to the BJP panel over here, and even at the state of BJP there in Karnataka, where they want to always, whether they are inside the ruling party or in the opposition, they always want to do a politics with the Cauvery water river sharing. Even the dispute has been going on right from
okay, Mr. Pasha, I'm going to come back to you, give you that opportunity to rebut, because you wanted to come in earlier as well. The biggest charge that both the BJP and the JDS is facing, that you're doing nothing, being of no help, only politicizing the matter. Mr. Pasha.
Deepak, when it comes to the matter of Cauvery, you know very well how Mr. Deve Gowda has, picked up this point like a lone warrior in Rajya Sabha. Not a single MP from Congress or any other party stood with him. I am telling you, now we are at the verge of losing the Kharif crop. We will not have drinking water if we keep releasing water like this.
Why are the BJP MPs not picking it up, Mr. Pasha? Soon to be allies.
No, sir, it is a wrong statement, sir. The Kaveri
That's a
water.
different matter altogether. That's a different matter altogether. When it comes to Kaveri, all of us
Deepak.
need to stand united and together with the Kannadigas. It's a matter of a pride. Kaveri is the lifeline of Karnataka, and our irrigational problems will start if we keep releasing 5,000 cusecs on a daily
Deepak.
basis. Kaveri is the lifeline, and we are dependent
Sir,
on
the
this.
Kaveri management.
Like I said, we need 106 TMC water for the next 9 months. And we are left with only 51 TMC. Let me give you another stats. In KRS, we are left with only 20 TMC. 20 TMC and 7 TMC is a dead storage. 7 TMC is a dead storage. If we leave this 5,000 cusecs on a daily basis, we'll be left with 13 TMC. Out of 13 TMC, 7,000 is a dead storage. We'll be left with only 6 TMC. Do you think this entire 9 months with the scarcity of rainfall, we have 27% lesser rainfall in the monsoon? We'll be left with 6 TMC. It will be devastating and a disastrous situation for Karnataka if we continue to release water from now.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Tirupati. He's remained rather, he's been listening patiently to all of you all. Okay, but you didn't answer my question, Mr. Pasha, about, the allegations that you're facing, that it's a lot of politics. You're again bringing about stats. Yes, we have put out those stats in terms of numbers. Mr. Tirupati, I want you to respond that, BJP is politicizing it on both sides of the border.
No. See, we need to understand this. As our JDS spokesperson said, the politicians or the Kannadigas, they will support for Karnataka, their state. In Tamil Nadu, all political parties are supporting for their state. We need to understand. So, for more than 100 years, this problem has been there, and we have seen a lot of judicial things. And after almost after 4 years, we are in a state that the Supreme Court had handed over everything to the Cauvery Water Management Authority. The decision maker in this issue as to how, when, and how much water should be released is to be taken by the Cauvery Water Management Authority. So, number one, who has to talk to them? The government has to talk to them. So, the Karnataka government has failed to convince. If they are right, they have failed to convince the Cauvery Water Management Authority. Even Cauvery Water Management Authority cannot take a decision very harshly because they have got the judgments as to how much of water to be released during drought time, during distress, and all those things. They have a formula that has been framed by the Honorable Supreme Court. We need to understand. That is why I was telling, in the last 4 years, did we have any problem? No, because the BJP government was very clear. It was able to satisfy and convince the
I reject that.
I reject that. Let me finish. Let me finish. No, I was waiting.
Okay, let him complete, and you can rebut. Let Mr. Tirupati complete. Let him complete, and then you can rebut. Mr. Jain.
So I was waiting patiently for more than 20 minutes. So you please listen to what I said. And now, see, I have very clearly told you that authority, and I am just. He was telling that the advocate was telling that no, why should DMK talk to Congress? I never asked the Congress and DMK to talk. I only said that the Karnataka government did not speak to the Tamil Nadu government. You rightly said why they have not met. See, this is the problem. Actually, the Congress is trying to create a problem out of this water. And it is not so because the center is ruled by the BJP. This is what I am saying. We need to understand that the entire power rests with the Cauvery Water Management Authority. And it was also wrong by saying by the advocate that the Cauvery Water Management is under the authority of the central government. It is not. It is an autonomous body. We need to understand, and equally it is shared. The management, the whoever controls it, whoever decision makers are equally with all the states. So definitely this is politics created by the Congress, and we in Tamil Nadu we have also told, even our president Mr. Annamalai even today had said that why not the DMK and the Congress, the governments did not speak. So this is the problem. The decision maker is not the Congress government at Karnataka. So the Cauvery Water Management Authority has to decide and has to get satisfied what Karnataka government says.
Okay.
It is very clear that the Karnataka government is not in a position to convince the Cauvery Water Management because it says lies.
Right, Mr. Tirupati. A quick, rebuttal there by Mr. Jain, and we'll have to wrap. Nikhil, go ahead.
Sir, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Cauvery Water Management Authority, all the appointments are done by the central government. I'm not able to find the words autonomous in any of its establishment statutes. So I'm not quite sure if the body is autonomous or not. But if there is, it cannot be, the fact cannot be denied that the authority does function under the aegis of the Jal Shakti Ministry of the Union of India. That's my limited point.
Deepak?
Okay.
Is my
Well,
audio
now,
going?
while of course we've extensively, I can hear you, Nikhil.
It is not so. It is an autonomous body.
Okay, whether it's autonomous or not, the question here is really the politics around it, and more importantly, what will happen in both these states. How will the farmers be affected? Drinking water needs of the people of Bengaluru, how is it going to be affected, and how will these two parties really deal with this particular issue, especially considering their allies? And this somewhere is creating a rift as well between them through some of the statements, though politically very safe. The two sides have played it very politically safe, but definitely it will trickle down to multiple issues if the protests on the ground continue. We'll keep a close watch on this story. I thank all the panelists. We have another debate coming up as well. So I'll have to, thank all of you all and for sharing all your inputs.